Hi, it's Angus here from Tiny Towing Solutions. This video is all about how to get your house ready for transport. The first and probably the most important thing that always gets missed out is the importance of measuring the house correctly. When you send through measurements to a transport company, the measurements we are after is the external measurements of the building. I find it easier to measure each side of the building, find the widest part, which is normally on your front as your lights hanging out. So you'll go up, you'll measure the light and it'll be 125 mil. You'll go around to the back of the building and most of the time it's either the gutter or the calefont hanging out the back. So you'll measure the calefont and then you measure the width of the building. And then we do the same on the length of the building. Add it all together and send those measurements through. When a truck's travelling down the road, we're allowed to do up to 90 k's an hour. So although we take all care, there's often forces on the house which can't be controlled. This is why we believe in doing the best we can to prep for transport so your house will get there safely. Often people will opt to leave stuff in the house, such as beds and couches. These are fine to stay in the house from a weight point of view, but they must be secure. If you leave a fridge in the house laying down and, for instance, somebody pulls out in front of the truck and the truck is forced to brake heavily, that fridge could slide from one end of the house to the other and cause damage. Everything in the house must be taped up, such as all the doors and drawers and cupboards and anything that could open and close in transport. Often the builders will put spreader bars in the doors to hold them open so that they can't swing around in transport. For those who have barn doors in the house, often the most easiest way is to lift them off the rollers and lay them on the ground and secure them. Quite often you'll tape the barn doors up, but because they're on a roller, they'll break the tape and just slide side to side in transport, causing damage. The other things are to make sure all the windows are closed and latched, all the doors are shut and locked, and then we often recommend taping the outside of the doors as well. The reason for this is there's rollers inside, and even though the door is locked and latched, the doors can quite often jump. And in transport, you're going down, hitting the vibrating away, and the doors will jump out of the lock and then they can start sliding in and out. By taping this forces the doors to stay down in the lock and minimises any chance of issues. On the external of the house is often a calefont which has gas pipes hanging down. You definitely want to cable tie them so they're not swinging in transport, because this can scratch all your cladding up. When it comes to the gutters on the houses, they can stay on for transport as long as they're secured. Often with a tiny home, there's a heat pump hanging out of the end of the house, which is perfectly fine. The biggest issue we find with them is whether that heat pump is secured to the building. How the heat pump is fixed to the building isn't secure for transport. So you can be driving down the road, hit a pothole, and that'll cause the brackets to break and the heat pump will fall off. So we always recommend double checking, and if you're not sure, take a photo of your setup and send it through to us and we can advise. So there's some things to think about when you're getting your home ready for transport, and remember, if you're not sure, we're only a phone call away to ask.